Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm playing some more Total War Warhammer. We're back in action with another online battle between myself and Yadav. Yadav's a pretty high-ranked player, definitely a great player, so it should be a great match. As you can see, my forces are led by Wurrzag, the Great Green Prophet, and things are going to kick off, so I'm going to put it in slow motion here while we go over the builds. Typical greenskin build, what you see from me usually against the Empire or Bretonnia. Wurrzag with Effigy of the Git. He's also got WAAAAGH, Foot of Gork, of course, Here We Go, and Fist of Gork, as well as some of his other goodies. Two big bosses on spiders to support, as well as a unit of Orc Boar Biggins right here. And for the main line, 3 Savage Orcs with 1 Savage Orc Biggin on each flank, 2 Black Orcs, and the Warlord's Boys in the center. We've got 2 forward deployed Nasty Skulkers here, and 2 Goblin Wolf Rider Archers, one of them being the Mangy Marauders, of course, a must-pick in any competitive greenskin build, in my opinion. Even against factions which are not traditionally high armor, the Mangy Marauders are very, very good. Very fast with armor-piercing missiles, good range, decent melee stats, just a lot to love about these guys. And against a faction like the Empire, which fields generally very good heavy shock cavalry, you definitely want something to deal some extra damage, kite them around, disrupt, etc. So for my opponent, as you can see, he's got 4 crossbowmen. They're going to line up here on this cliff, take advantage of this terrain. Definitely a great play. He's got 2 flagellants here, 2 flagellants here with 1 more in reserve in the center. Boris the Todbringer, the Todbringer, of course, on a Griffin here with Crush the Weak and the Midland Rune Fang, as well as Foe Seeker, it looks like. We've got 2 Reiksguard here, another 2 Reiksguard here, and a 5th here in the center. So let's kick things off here. Definitely one of my favorite matchups, Greenskins versus Empire. It's a classic matchup, really a lot of fun, and Yadav is definitely a great player, so we're in for a good time. So here I'm going to start harassing these Reiksguard a little bit, try and get some fire, but these crossbowmen are going to zone me out fairly well. I'm going to have to pull away or else take a ton of fire from them. So we are going to do so. Getting my forces to advance up the main line here. I'm going to decide to push over here on this flank and just kind of hold on this flank. So to that end, I'm going to dispatch these Savage Orcs to hold this gap here. I'm going to start bringing these Nasty Skulkers around to help hold this flank as well. And yeah, my opponents definitely take advantage of some terrain here to get some good shots in on me. This is a great move. You know, anytime you can take advantage of terrain on a map like this, it's definitely advantageous. And here these Reiksguard are going to come in, get a great charge on these Savage Orc Biggins, send a bunch of them flying, and the Biggins will turn around and start to deal a fair amount of damage, but as the Reiksguard pull away very quickly, they won't take a ton of damage there. Roughly even trade. Maybe the Savage Orcs took a little bit more, but yeah, they do have a heavy weapon strength with anti-large bonus, so not something they want to be involved in. Over here, these Reiksguard are starting to take some fire, and as well, my main line is taking an absolute throttling from these crossbowmen as they advance up into this, you know, very pitched area here. My opponent's brought his reserve flagellant down to have 3 flagellants facing me over on this flank, and I'm bringing Wurrzag and the Goon Squad over to support on this flank as well. And these Savage Orcs ended up pushing through, and they almost routed. They are getting on these flagellants now, dealing a ton of damage. Flagellants will, they won't rout, but they will die very fast to Savage Orcs. And Black Orcs here getting into these flagellants. That's not a fight the flagellants want to be a part of. It will take the Black Orcs some time to cut through, but they will definitely win. Boris, however, is coming down to support, getting a nice flank charge, dealing a ton of damage to the Black Orcs, and the Reiksguard are reforming for another charge. I've still got the Wolf Rider Archers kind of running around harassing. Meanwhile, Wurrzag and his forces are coming up to support here. We've got a Here We Go in the main line battle, just helping, trying to cut through these flagellants as quick as possible. Over here we've got smoke bombs going off, and the Nasty Skulkers are getting in against some heavily armored units, slowing them down, doing, they took a ton of damage on that charge, but they are dealing some damage in return and slowing those Reiksguard from being able to pull away. These Nasty Skulkers here are in a bad way, surrounded by 2 Reiksguard, flagellants, Boris. They're going to get out of there real fast. Only these Savage Orcs still holding on this flank. They're going to rout shortly due to terror, and the Mangy Marauders will have to pull away and try and screen out this advantage as much as possible. And I actually missed it, but there was a great Foot of Gork here. You guys know I love that spell. Smashed out a unit of Reiksguard. Wurrzag and his goon squad came in and smashed out another, and now they're going to get back here into these juicy crossbowmen who have been firing from this excellent position, using up more than half their ammo on a lot of the units and doing a ton of damage to my Savage Orcs in the process. Speaking of which, my Savage Orcs are starting to rally over on this flank. This Reiksguard's a little out of position, getting shot up by the Mangy Marauders. That's exactly what I want there. And over here, these Flagellants are just kind of getting pulled in different directions, not really sure where to go. Here now, Boris Toddbringer's landed. Effigy to Get's going to go down on him from Wurrzag, and he's going to get surrounded by this goon squad and start taking a ton of damage. You can see the burst damage already down to half health and dropping fast. Even with that regeneration, the combination of Effigy to Get and all these anti-large armor-piercing units, they're going to take care of Boris in a hurry. He is out of there. And, you know, Wurrzag is fairly squishy, but this is why you got to be careful, even if you're going after him with a powerful Flying Lord, because with this kind of ground goon squad, he can do a ton of damage. Now the Reiksguard are finally here. Support's coming too late, but they're trying to get revenge for Boris. Definitely doing a ton of damage and actually going to rout off these Orc Boar Boy Biggins. Wurrzag and one of the Goblin Big Bosses pulled away, trying to shut down these crossbowmen here. These two crossbowmen pulling away, but there's this force of Goblins and the Black Orcs coming along on this flank. And over here, the Flagellants, the last of the Flagellants are starting to die, and only these few unit of Reiksguard remain, and they are getting now surrounded. The big bosses here tying down a bunch of them, and meanwhile a rear charge from Savage Orcs, Black Orcs coming in real hot. Not going to be a fun time for these Reiksguard, so you can see the balance of power is starting to tip. Boris did come back from routing. He's going to get in here and try and take down some of these Wolf Rider archers. Try and spring these crossbowmen loose. They're one of the last saving graces he can hope to bring this battle back. Those Wolf Rider archers are going to get out of there, but now Nasty Skulker's coming in, getting another smoke bomb, and they're going to start shanking Boris big time, doing a ton of damage. Oh my goodness, look at that. And they do get terrified away, but they were able to do some decent damage. The other Skulkers come in and pretty much immediately get terrified away. Over here, though, the Reiksguard are crumbling. There's only one Flagellant here running around. These Reiksguard are very low. They're going to come in here and probably finish off these Savage Orc Biggins. Yeah, that's, whew, ouch. Yeah, Shock Cavalry is very good against Savage Orcs, so I definitely agree with the pick of 5 Reiksguard. Very, very strong. As you can see, I'm just trying to clean up my opponent's forces here. These Nasty Skulkers did come back with the support of the Black Orcs, doing a little bit of damage here to Boris, just trying to finish him off, while the rest of these forces just kind of get mopped up over here. These crossbowmen are getting a nice firing line, but now the balance of power does start to heavily shift, and looks like the chain rout. So very fun, frenetic battle. Great battle to my opponent, Yadav. Fun time always playing him. He's a great player, so props to him. I really like this build, especially for that terrain. These crossbowmen, you know, they definitely got some work done. Probably not as much as he would have liked, but the Flagellants, you know, they're good to just hold like he wanted them to. And the Reiksguard just weren't able to quite get done what they need to. They did do quite a bit of work. These ones almost got 100 kills. Got a lot of work done, but just not quite enough. Not quite enough. Over on my side, these Orc Boar Boy Biggins were instrumental in helping take out some Reiksguard. They did a ton of damage to Boris, helped protecting Wurrzag, you know, very important unit there. Mangy Marauders were doing a good job screening those Reiksguard, pulling them around, doing damage. Those Nasty Skulkers, although they didn't do a ton of damage, they did help tie up those Reiksguard on that flank and keep them from getting around, and they probably dealt a fair amount of damage to them. And yeah, the Savage Orcs doing what they do. 122 on these Savage Orc Biggins. Those are the ones that mopped up those Flagellants on that flank. And yeah, 79 kills on Wurrzag's nothing to sneeze at. So fun time. Great matchup. Great game again to Yadav. And yeah, hope to see you again on Ladder. And thank you guys for watching. If you're enjoying the content, like and subscribe. And we'll see you next time.